Well, good morning, everybody, or good afternoon. We're just past the noon hour here in Chicago. Monday after Super Bowl. Here's the bean here. Hey, I was just checking on TikTok and I saw Jaye, City Walking Girl, is really near here. So I rushed out of the office and I just sent her a message on TikTok. I think she's over by the Crown Fountain here, so I'm gonna just say hello when I'm starting my walk here, and so she can film me and I can film her. And so if you're watching Jaye, City Walking Girl, you'll get a rare chance to see what I look like. And of course, you know, people that follow me, you know what I look like, because I got 2 videos where I show my face for like a long time. But people have always asked, they said, when are you gonna walk into City Walking Girl? And we all walk around the city all the time, and it's just, sometimes we get really close to each other. I've gone really close to Vic Cohen when Vic Cohen used to stream a lot more. And I think Jaye is over here. So hey, everybody, Demishi, Ricky, Austin, thanks the way I roll. Thanks for tuning in. So I think Jaye's right over here. I think I see her. So I'm going to head her way, say hello to Jaye. And believe it or not, I feel like I know Jaye because she's such a great friend and helps me out with the moderating and stuff. And I really appreciate it. And I want to say hello to her in person. And I know she's always walking around the city, showcasing the city. You see where we're at here. We're right by Michigan Avenue. And she knows I walk on lunchtime. And she walks all throughout the city all the time. So I guess she's sitting here waiting for me to stop by here. And I'm going to say hello to Jaye and check out the Crown Fountain here and see how she's doing. How's it going? How you doing? See, look, we finally get to cross paths here, heading through the city. I just happened to go on TikTok and I saw you. How you doing? Nice to see you. How you doing? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
I'm a hugger.
You want a hug? That's it's so great meeting you in person. And see, look, you get to see. See, look, I told people. I said, tune into City Walking or tune into Jaye. You get to see a rare occurrence, a sighting of Brian. This is great. I just saw you were here, and it's such a beautiful sunshiny day.
I know, that's what I told him. I wasn't going on until later. But
good.
It's so nice.
Yeah.
I was like, let me just go on for a minute and share this.
You're looking stylish as always. That's good. That's looking good.
Look at you.
Yeah, see, and I got the landscape here on YouTube.
He's on YouTube, you guys. Brian is going live on YouTube.
Yeah.
Midday.
Yeah. And so we'll do the lunch bunch, but
everybody's happy, right? Because they're always like, have you met Brian? Have you met Brian?
I know, yeah. You know we were going to cross paths because we've come close several times.
Right, I know.
And
it looks like it's gonna happen eventually.
Good. So which way are you going? Because I'll probably head into the loop.
You head to the loop. I'm heading back over to the skating rink.
Good. So you can check out the skating rink. I was at the Bean this morning.
Yeah.
So I'll check you later.
All right.
And thanks, Jaye. And thanks so much for helping out with the moderating. You just, putting the time and temp up there, you get that all the time too.
All the time.
And you know what it's like. Let's enjoy this sunshine. Let's enjoy this weather. Have a great day. I'll run into you later. See you, Jaye. Thank you. That's great. See, isn't that awesome? See, thanks everybody. Thanks for tuning in. See, we got to see Jaye, City Walking Girl, our fellow live streamer here, heading around the city. Isn't that nice? Yeah, see, everybody says hello to Jaye. And we'll head down into the loop here. Such a beautiful day. We got, we're up to like 40 degrees, sunshine. We've got this nice streak of relatively mild February. You saw me on Jaye. See, Crystal Blue Funk. Isn't that nice? You could tune in to Jaye and see me on her live. And then you got to see Jaye there on my YouTube. So isn't that amazing? We're on multiple platforms here. Get to check out scenes of the city here. We're down by the Art Institute of Chicago. I think we went through Millenium Park here. We'll cross, if we can, we'll cross over into the loop here. So Demishi, yeah, her name's Jaye. So she goes by City Walking Girl. That's her handle for TikTok. Her real name is Jaye, Jaye. And it's just like the letter J. Here comes, here comes a fire truck heading through here. So we'll see the fire. There's the L coming by here. Hold on a second here. Let's zoom into the fire. Number 4. That's like the fire marshal there. that helps out with the fire engines there. Hey, you're watching me both. Thanks, Grandmaster. Thanks, Demishi, The Way I Roll, Crystal Blue Funk. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in here. See, we knew we were going to cross paths eventually. We've come close several times. There's been several times where people said that, oh, City Walking Girl's just a block away. Same thing happened with Vic Cohen. One time, Vic Cohen and I were live streaming in the same neighborhood. Vic Cohen used to live stream a lot from Chicago. Now he mainly does nice TikToks, showcasing his great personality and what he recommends and stuff like that. But well, hey, thanks to the Lunch Bunch. And if I missed anybody, I was just saying hello to Jaye there. You can check, if you missed it, you can check it out in the reruns. We caught it right there at the beginning. But here, we'll go on our lunch walk here. And there's, look at that. There's the University Club. High-rise housing above it here. This is still a private members-only club here, 76 here. You see the University Club of Chicago. If I can cross the street here, I'll show you the emblem there. There's the University Club of Chicago. You can look it up online. They got membership dues and everything. And there are still private members-only clubs, just like the Chicago Athletic Club, which is now a hotel. And I used to film from the lobby in there, but hopefully we'll get back in there. They're blocking the alley there. We'll let the Amazon Prime do their work here. I guess those are some of the new Rivian electric vehicles. Yeah, Michael Anderson, do you see that? There was a rare sighting where Jay and I got to see each other on our live streams, and isn't that nice? And so hopefully that'll continue, and of course maybe we'll run into Liz Skate Chicago or Manny Manuel Vega or any of the other great live streamers, content creators, Dan Cruz flying with this drone, and of course Vic Cohen. Anybody else I might have missed here, but here, welcome to Chicago, welcome to the Loop. Here we're down here by Wabash. Look at this, look at the bright sunshine we got here on the Monday after the Super Bowl. Maybe some people are still sleeping in from the Super Bowl, which is awesome. I enjoy seeing people walking around the city here. So we'll head over, I'll go over to Daily Plaza because we haven't been that way for a while. We're here by Jewelers Row under Wabash. Carson Prairie Scott. See, remember we talk about how the Gothic Target used to be the Carson Prairie Scott. Miller's Pub's down there. Brandon was checking out Miller's Pub. Here's the Palmer House Hilton. Remember we were talking about Palmer House Hilton this morning, walking by the Gold Coast. Got these, I thought it was an historical photo, but it was just a black and white photo. There's some real historical photos over there on Carson, by the Palmer House Hilton. Yeah, it's like playing Pokemon Go. They do that. They have every once in a while, they have a Pokemon Go. It's almost like, what do they call that? Navigation wayfinding, where you got to virtually find a my cousin Matthew plays the Pokemon Go, where you got virtual intersections and different stores where you collect different virtual Pokemon that you play the game, you get points, and it's every once in a while they have like pick a city and they have a big festival. Yeah, it's a great day for a walk there. Thanks everybody. I'm missing everybody here, but here's the clock here by Monroe and State. We'll head across, we'll check out the clock here. Yeah, I gotta get out of the sun here. Yeah, the old green and white L trains, the old ones where you could actually open the windows. And when I moved to Chicago 25 years ago, the buses, you could still open the bus windows. Now, some of them you can, but it's really hard on some of the newer ones. They don't allow you to open the windows even in summertime. But even the L trains used to be able to open the windows, and they had the wooden seats that flipped up, and you can always see them in historical. Every once in a while they'll have an old train you can ride on. There goes the L, look at that. There's the L going by there on Wabash. That was a short pink line train. Here, there's State Street looking south, State Street looking north, all the way up to the Chicago Theater, the Marina Towers. Lisa, how you doing? Hey Lisa, you'll have to check it out on the rerun there. Oops, I appreciate it. Jay, I noticed before I went on YouTube, I just happened to check TikTok, and Jaye was live streaming from the Crown Fountain there just south of the Bean. So I ran out, got on the YouTube here, and we saw Jaye. You can go back at the beginning of this live rerun. You'll see Jaye, city walking girl, walking around, and people watching her live stream on TikTok got to see me. And we knew we were going to run cross paths eventually. She gets around the more areas than I do. Here, we'll go by the Inland Steel Building. Hopefully I'll give a better spiel about the Inland Steel Building. It's one of the most significant mid-century modern, structurally, high rises in the city of Chicago. It was built in the late 50s, the late 1950s. There wasn't any skyscrapers built for almost 3 decades after the 1929-1930 stock market crash. The last ones being the Board of Trade and the LaSalle State Bank buildings, which were built in the early 30s as far as high-rise buildings. And took all the way 3 decades after the stock market crash for the capital to build up and then to attempt a new modernist skyscraper along with the Mies van der Rohe housing on Lakeshore Drive there that were built in the late 40s, early 50s. And this was Inland Steel Building, SOM. We looked up the architect, Tara looked up the architect, and you see how it's cantilevered. The floors are cantilevered. There's no interior structural columns. The columns are all on the exterior. And it was almost, even though it's very modern, it was almost like bridging the gap towards postmodern already. And then here's the Inland Steel Building here. We're at the corner of Monroe and Dearborn in Chicago. Very structurally significant historical skyscraper. And you see how the floor, it overhangs because it's hanging on that, and it's like a bridge into the sky. It's got open floor plates, very modernist. The Inland Steel Building. Here we're by the Chase building. Here we'll go by the Mark Chagall mosaics here. Hold on, we'll go by the Divvy bike station here, and yeah, we've shown these before here. The beautiful Mark Chagall mosaics here. This is when they built this in the late 60s, very late 60s, same time as the John Hancock was being built. They built this modernist plaza here. They wanted to have commission important works of art, just like the Calder Flamingo or the Picasso in the Daily Plaza. We might see the Picasso when we go to the Daily Plaza, but here's the Mark Chagall mosaics here. They got them protected with this. And then, hey, the fountains are on. Look at this. It's the middle of February and the fountains are on at the Chase building. I mean, talk about spring fever. I have never in my 25 years seen them ever turn on these fountains in February. Now, they might have done it and I might have missed it because I don't always walk over here, but it's so rare for them to turn on the fountains in the middle of winter. Look at that. Ellis, Gender, Alvin, Lisa, Christopher, thanks for tuning in. Look at the giant Chase building here. So here we'll go. People ask about Italian Village. Here's the Italian Village, this famous sign. It's been here just like Burkhoff, some of these loop restaurants that have been around for decades, and at least the Italian Village, it looks like they're working on the street in front of it, but there's the classic clock and the sign there, the Italian Village. Everybody please reach out to our good friend Chris. I think he's doing the wake for his father today. Unfortunately, his father passed away last weekend, and so we all grieve with him. And please don't forget to send a kind note or flowers to Chris. I don't know the information about the wake, but I think they're doing something small, and they'll do a memorial later on too. But here's the bell here, and we're over here by Clark Street already, Clark and Monroe. We'll head north on Clark Street. Well, we might as well go over to LaSalle since we're down here. We can film the Board of Trade. We can circle back to catch out the Daily Plaza on the way back. I just wanted to race to catch City Walking Girl. We saw Jaye walking over by the Crown Fountain earlier, and we've been down here before. Diamond Steakhouse. Yeah, nothing lasts. There's other steakhouses. Here's the Harris Bank. BMO Harris now. It's been bought out, but the Harris Bank here. We're on Monroe here, heading towards the former AT&T building. Oh, they got the Valentine's Day out frame sale at the eyeglass store here. There's the Fillmore restaurants right here. Look at that beautiful facade here. So look, BMO's right next to Harris. BMO Harris, makes sense. What is this? The Thai bar. Here's the Thai bar. 122. And here's there's a rooftop bar called Baleo. 15th floor here of 122 Monroe, right next to the Thai bar. All kinds of restaurant options. Here's CIBC. We're almost to the financial district here on LaSalle Street. We'll cross the street since we got the light, but we'll look to the left here to see if I can pan in and zoom in and not mute everybody. There's the Board of Trade looking south. Yeah, we'll get across the street. There's a view straight to the Board of Trade. It's hard to catch it. I got to get in the shadow. There we go. It's better once I get in the shadow. So here we'll head down. We'll cross Monroe here and film the Board of Trade here a little bit. I'll get out of the big bank with the little bank inside. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Look at that. So here's some of the detail of the facade of the Board of Trade. And of course, they use Native Americans with the corn, the maize, and references to the Greek goddess Ceres. As you see her at the top there, there's a statue of the goddess of grain there at the top of the Board of Trade there. Let's see if I can zoom in behind the flag there. There's the very Art Deco, simple statue at the top of the Board of Trade to Ceres, the Greek goddess of corn, maize, grain. You know, of course, it became the corn exchange. The corn's the most important commodity with soybeans that America produces, and became the basis of the commodities exchange that became the Board of Trade there. But Omar works at Prada. Prada, at least we think, that's the Omar we talk about that works at Prada. He does security for Prada there. Not only the one on Oak Street, but I've seen him at the one in the Nordstrom. There's a Prada outlet within the Nordstrom there on Michigan Avenue. But here, look at the Board of Trade, the Rookery building, the red brick Rookery building. Of course, we've gone inside there if you want to see the inside. I don't have time today, but we went to the inside, redesigned by Frank Lloyd Wright, the beautiful atrium there, the Rookery. And we've got TikToks on that, we've got YouTubes on that. We've been in there several times, so if you missed it, please check out my reruns. And there's the LaSalle State Bank. This was the last building to be built, as far as I know, in the Loop, 1930, before they built the Inland Steel Building, 1958, after the Great Depression. And then there's the Sears Tower. There's a nice view to the Sears Tower. We'll go by the foot of the Sears Tower here as we head down Adams Street, I think. And here's the gold. Wow, look at that bakery. Look at the size. Look at the size of this lobby here. Let's go inside here. Let's check this out. Look how tall this grand lobby. Look at this. Wow. You got a golf simulator. 190 South LaSalle. Sit back and enjoy a new sound experience of a new amphitheater. They got an amphitheater here you can sit. And I think they got a rotunda here which kind of focuses the sound. Look at this grand lobby here. 190 South LaSalle. And let's see if we can get up here and check this out here. They got some speakers underneath these seats, and it focuses the sound here. Look at this. Look at this lobby of the 190 South LaSalle building. This is the one that it has the gold lobby. And I better get out of here before security asks me to get out of here, because I'm sure they don't like live streamers in here. But they got a golf simulator. They got this West Town bakery here. Got a nice bakery. And look at the beautiful ceilings, the gold leaf. You know, the little nooks and crannies here. And this building, if you ever seen the old, see here's the Rookery. If you ever seen the old Masonic building that they tore down, it was on Wabash. This building kind of references, let's get across the street here so I can show you the top of it. See, there's the W Hotel. Yeah, the Inland Steel, USX had a big steel mill there, Southwork site. They shuttered that. See how this building kind of looks like the old Masonic temple on Wabash, which they tore down. That was an original skyscraper that we lost. And then they built this one in the late 80s, and that big boom, the 87 crash, and led to the 900 North Michigan building and the Prudential 2 Tower and the 311 South Wacker, and that's when they built this one too. There's the Hive, but see how it's got that tall building there, or tall arch windows. There's the W in the City Center building. We're on Adams here. What time we got? 12:23. Yeah, the Masonic Temple. The way I roll. Yeah, look it up. If you want to know what I'm talking about, just go to a search engine and type in the old Masonic Temple skyscraper building in Chicago. It was on Wabash, probably around Wabash and State. They tore it down probably to build Marshall Fields. It was around that area. No, it was not the block of Marshall Fields, but it was near there. And I don't know why they tore it down. The largest building to be tore down in the loop was the old, it was called the Morrison Hotel, where the Chase building is. They actually tore down a 50-story skyscraper in the 60s to build the Chase building, and it was a hotel. And it's amazing. But here, we'll cross Wabash here. See, oh no, this is Adams. This lines up with the Art Institute. And here's look at this great view we got of the Sears Tower, Willis Tower. You can see the whole full height here, over 1,400 feet tall. What is that, over 400 meters? And that's not even including the antenna, which would bring it to 1,700 feet or 500 meters. And of course, you know, it's no longer the tallest building in the world. It was the tallest building in the world for almost 25 years, imagine that. And now there's buildings that are twice as tall as that in China and Dubai. There, the Blackwood barbecues right here, this parking garage. And so you got a 4-story parking garage right next to a 110-story building. I mean, it's just amazing that it's not something more dense right here. But there, we'll head over towards Wacker Drive. So there might have been structural issues with the Masonic building. That's might be why they tore it down. Yeah, it was an early vintage skyscraper. There's the 333 South Wacker building. So this is Franklin Street looking north to the Merchandise Mart. Look at these skyscraper canyons we get like along LaSalle and Franklin Street. And there's looking towards the South Loop there. So we're going by the Sears Tower, the Willis Tower. And that's not even the full height of it, dude. You know, you got to get to the other side to get to the towers that go to the full height. We'll head over to Wacker Drive. We might as well check out the river. Look at these beautiful turnstiles here to go into the 300 Michigan building. There's Roti Mediterranean Grill. Get the bowls and salads here. Hey, you got the flags flying. We're almost over to Union Station. So let's see what else is going on here. Now it's almost 40 degrees, sunshine. Everybody enjoyed the Super Bowl. It was hard. Well, at least it was an exciting game. Went to overtime. You get a few extra commercials in there. Networks love that. And here we'll cross. We'll cross Wacker Drive. So then I'll be able to get you a view of the Sears Tower with the full height here. And we'll look up Wacker Drive, looking north towards the Salesforce Tower. There's Union Station across the river. And there's, once we get across the street here, I'll swing back around and show you the Sears Tower, the 311 South Wacker building. We went inside both of those. There we go. So now we can see, so this is the corner of Wacker and Adams in Chicago. Here's the Sears Tower, the tallest building in Chicago. And for a long time, this was the tallest building in the United States. Now they're in New York City, of course. And 1,400 feet straight up. You can see, if I zoom to the top there, you can go up to the sky deck up there, and you see those are window boxes that sit out. You can look at the glass at the bottom, and you can look straight down from the 103rd floor of the Sears Tower. And so, welcome to Chicago. And sometime we'll go up there, just not today. I got to get back to work. Yeah, what a lame ass I am. I know. Never pay for anything. But there's Amita Health. You see the 311 South Wacker building right there. Let's head over and check out the river since we're so close. Thank you. Thanks for the good information there. Yeah, 1892 construction. Burnham and Root, Daniel Burnham, the Masonic Temple. They tore it down in the 1920s. It was originally the tallest building in Chicago. Isn't that amazing? And it shows you how some of those buildings, in hindsight, I wish we could have saved them. Same with the Morrison Hotel. But nothing lasts. They tore down other buildings, just like Penn Station in New York City. We still got our Union Station. We lost some of our other historical stations. Here we're crossing the South Branch of the Chicago River. Here's the South Branch of the Chicago River. We're crossing at Adams here. Thanks for tuning in here. And we'll head right along. It looks like they're working on this plaza here. Look, they got a tent over there. What is that? What's going on here in Riverside Plaza? Let's see what's happening here. Since I'm so close, we could go through Union Station, but we've done that before. I just want to see what this giant tent is over here. Let's see what this is. Let's document this for respect this neighborhood. Gate 1. So they're working on Riverside Plaza. See, we can still walk along the river here. We'll head up that way. So it looks like they're working on, Riverside Plaza. They got it under construction here. I'm looking over the construction fence. Here, we'll head across the street here. Here's where you can go into Union Station. This is Adams Street. Let's see what this sprung structure is. There's a construction tent over here on 222 South Riverside Plaza. So they tore it down in 1939. So probably, I wonder if it was the end of the Great Depression that had something to do with that, that it wasn't used during the Great Depression and they couldn't, somebody bought it up and tore it down. But so they it looks like they have Canal Street shut down over here for construction. Here's Canal Street. Canal runs through just west of the river, runs by Union Station here. We're by Union Station here in Chicago. I'll head up this plaza here so we can see what's going on here. There's the new BMO tower right there. I don't know if they call it BMO Harris or something else. Look at this. They got Canal Street is closed. They got a construction tent. They're using it as a staging area. So Canal Street's all under construction, and that's Union Station. So we'll have to come back when I have more time and check out the construction here at Union Station. Let me go back and get more information, because underneath us is where you go those tunnels and you pop out in the grand arrival terminal there for Union Station. We're in the West Loop here, just barely across the river here. Look at that beautiful dog. Wow. It's a nice dog. And we'll head back over towards the South Branch of Chicago River. There's a view to the Sears Tower. Yeah, isn't this great? And I again, all my apologies to everybody that tuned in trying to see the fireworks on Saturday night. I had a perfect position. I had a nice stream until the fireworks started, and then I lost my connection because everybody else started streaming everybody else started streaming the fireworks at the exact same time, and the bandwidth degraded and I couldn't stream. So I was able to film, and we got the finale on TikTok, so you can see what you missed there. But it was just Valentine's Day fireworks. I guess they kind of had them for Chinese New Year as well, which the actual Lunar New Year started on Saturday. They won't have the parade for the Chinese New Year in Chinatown until this Sunday. So I hope to get down to Chinatown on Sunday enjoy those festivities. But here we're by the south branch of the Chicago River. There's the Sears Tower. Look at that. There's the Mercantile Exchange to the left, Sears Tower to the right. And if I can get my camera to swing around a little bit. There we go. Can't get it to do what I want it to do there. Look at that plane flying in over the loop. Yeah, Jackson and Racine. Well, that's where you're at? Okay, yeah, Racine's a little west of us. Runs north-south through the West Loop. It's a nice street, runs through all the whole city, Racine. There's the Mercantile Exchange, the Merc. That's the Monroe Street. So we'll head up past the... See, the river is really like a canal here. There's not really much of a river walk. They walled it up. The real estate became so valuable, they literally built right up to the river, and we're above railroad air rights. There's railroad tracks below us on these plazas. And these are Basquiat drawbridges. They lift them to let the sailboats in and out in the spring and fall. We'll go right by the, what is that, the Opera House here. Yeah, it is muddy. The river's pretty muddy. Sometimes it's really murky. You know, it looks like chocolate milk. Other times it looks really clear and blue. It depends on, you know, I guess how much rain we got or what stirred it up. But yeah, it's a regular muddy brown river, you know. There it is. At least they allow access to. Here, we'll cross. We'll go this way just a little bit. One more block here along the river, and then we'll head back into the loop. Yeah, there was a lot of areas that were really violent in the 70s, 80s, 90s. I know it's bad now. It's hard for me to explain to people that certain areas of the city were actually worse in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Same with New York. And it shows you, you know, since at that time it was suburban flight, people moved out of the city to go to the suburbs. And even though the violence was really bad, people didn't pay attention to it as much as they do now, because if they didn't live in those neighborhoods where the violence happened, they weren't as affected by it. Now it's everywhere. The violence and the crimes everywhere, all parts of the city, downtown, right in the middle of the loop and lunchtime. And even on the north side, not as bad as the west and south side in certain areas. And we all know, you know, there's multiple reasons. It's not just one factor. You can't overgeneralize any statistic. But, you know, yeah, that's why when I show Wicker Park, people are like, oh, it's all gentrified, because they remember, just like Old Town, when Cabrini Green was there, the area was different. Now it's gentrified and expensive, and it wasn't that way as much in the 70s and 80s, because people just left that area and the real estate value dropped before it became, people bought it up and then fixed it up and raised the rents. And that's what happens, the cycles of cities. Mainly it's due to just the nature of capitalism and people trying to make money off of people wanting to move back into the city. But yeah, Hyde Park's a nice area. Hyde Park's always relatively safe. There's always a few issues there, you know, with the university. Some people in the community have an adversarial relationship with the university. I know that because people come from all other areas of the world to go to that college, and they're considered not part of the community, you know. And it's, see, you can see the trains, that's the lower, we walked on top of that. Those are the rail yards. That's a metro train coming out of Union Station there. And you see how it'll continue underneath these buildings, underneath Riverside Plaza. Ogilvy Station's right there. That's the old Citicorp building. The railroads go underneath the AT&T Boeing building. Sometimes that building shakes and it's cantilevered over the railroad air rights. Here we'll head right back down into, look how close this bridge house is to this building. They built right next to it. So I guess this is still part of the Mercantile Exchange here. We'll head across Wacker Drive here. So there's the Civic Opera House. Yeah, 47th Street. I was down at 47th Street. We filmed the Bud Billiken Parade. I was looking for Ray's Music Exchange. If you saw the old Blues Brothers, Ray's Music Exchange using that movie was there. Jay was filming these things, the nice Zen-like smooth stones they got here in front of the Mercantile Exchange. There's the Civic Opera House. You can look down that colonnade. It'll look really interesting here. We're gonna get stuck out in the middle here. I got to try to get across the street before the lane changes here. Yeah, we're running. There's the Civic Opera House. Here we got the light here. Look how large this building is. Have you ever seen Citizen Kane? They used this briefly. And this is Madison, the center street of the loop. Civic Opera House. Yeah, let's head this way. Let's go by these little domed planted trees here. So what am I missing here? Let's see. So you see on Madison Street's one of the streets that has this busway. They got these, they call it the link or something. It's never really crowded. I guess a few people take it. There's a few people waiting for the link bus to take them to the train stations. It helps further away, and you see how the Aon had its own shuttle that ferries people from the commuter stations to Lakeshore East. It's just a long walk to get across the loop. But here we're coming into Franklin Street on Madison. There's the La Quinta. We'll head up this way. We'll head up past Daily Plaza here. What time we got? 12:39. Look at this. Yeah, these you know, they really, the UBS Tower, Swiss Bank, and or one of the Swiss banks, and associated with LaSalle Street and all the other banks we got over here. Here, the Kinsley by Fairgrounds. Look at this. Kinsley. Does anybody know about this Kinsley? What is this, a coffee shop? What is this? This looks like a swanky place here. Please use revolving doors. Yeah, look at this. Oh, it's a bar. It's a matcha bar, breakfast, lunch, drip coffee. Yeah. Looks like they got an outdoor seating area here, which is nice. So here's what it is. Kinsley by Fairgrounds. I know you can look into that. I don't know if it's any good. I don't know. I don't get over this way too much for lunch. So here's the Hyatt Place. So if you're just joining, we're still in the loop here, just wandering through the loop on a sunny day. It was so nice seeing Jaye earlier in this live. She was over by the Crown Fountain. She was on TikTok. I was on YouTube, and we finally crossed paths in real life. I gave her a hug, and she wanted a hug. I first shook her hand. She's like, I'm a hugger. I said, I'll give you a hug. It was great. So thanks, Jaye. City Walking Girl. Please follow City Walking Girl. She's such a great person, and she's always out showcasing the city. We need more of that. There, Franklin and Washington. We'll cross. We'll make it. Well, we'll cross the street here, and then we'll make it right. See, so you can take the link the other way. This is coming out of going east down Washington. Take the link down that way. See how there's still some empty lots, developable lots here. And a lot of these buildings, they converted into housing. And there's still, like that one, they converted to housing right in the loop. You can live right in the loop. Yeah, beautiful place here. This you'll cross Franklin looking south. Look, there's a kind of a view to the Sears Tower. We're just seeing the tip top of it peeping out the top there. We'll head over towards Daily Plaza. I saw they had a tent set up at Daily Plaza, so we'll see what that's all about. I don't know. In years past, they did do like some St. Patrick's Day stuff, but it's probably too early for that. I don't know if they got any Valentine's Day stuff set up on Daily Plaza, or if it's just something else that they had a tent there. I noticed. Hey, Small Cakes, Cupcakery and Creamery. Right here, Jimmy John's. Here's an old commercial building that's still left. Look how old that building is. It survived all the waves of development to tear it down and make it a skyscraper. And the land's so valuable they cantilevered this building almost over top of it. Look at that. It's right here near the Wells Street, Wells and Madison stop, or Wells and Washington stop, whatever they call this on the, I think Wells and Madison on the loop here. Hey, we're at Wells and Washington. We'll cross the street here. So here's Wells Street looking south. Here's Wells Street looking north underneath the L train. Corner bakery. Ah, printing and stationery. Right here is still a stationery shop. We'll go by Cardozo's Pub. There's Baragaroos, Aussie Pies. They got one of these on Sheffield up in Lakeview. Here's the I Am Temple. Look at that. Got nice portraits of, look at that. There's Cardozo's Pub. Psychic. There's another one of those link stations here. Good Luck Karma Shop, Psychic Source. Lotus. Yoga. Look at that alley. Woo. We'll go down that alley. So we're back at LaSalle Street. We'll get a nice view of the Board of Trade once again looking south. We'll see if the sun's peeping over or not. One of the rare times that the sun actually goes down LaSalle Street, because it's kind of a canyon. See, we're by, look at the sun hitting the columns of City Hall. That's the City Hall, the Cook County building there. Here we got the light here. So here's a great view of LaSalle Street, classic view looking south on LaSalle Street to the Board of Trade. We crossed this earlier, closer to it. Now we're further away. Same view. Trying to hit Daily Plaza on the way back here. That's why I'm heading back to City Hall once again. Corner Bakery has good raisin bread crisps. Yeah, check it out. They don't ship them. Oh, you got to go to the store. Well, they're missing out. I wonder why they don't ship them. Huh. There's the forecast. It looks like 30s, 33, 37. They did the extended day forecast by the Channel 2 news digital screen over there. We'll try to catch it again. They're doing the noontime weather report there, local news. There's the First Methodist Church, that steeple. That church goes back to the 1830s, and they rebuilt it in the 1920s. They still got the chapel on the bottom. We've gone inside, and then there's a chapel at the top, the First Methodist Church. And that steeple, when that was built, that was the tallest church, certainly in the United States. It rivaled the Cologne Cathedral in Germany, some of the tallest cathedrals in Europe. And they've made all the commercial space here. It's on Clark Street at Washington here. And here's Daily Plaza. So there's nothing really going on in Daily Plaza. I just saw that tent and I thought maybe they were setting something up. There's the L going by there on Wells Street. We're down here, Daily Plaza. The empty plaza. You see First Methodist Church. There's a Cook County building there. This is the courthouse where I got to go for jury duty every once in a while. Do my civic duty. Here's the Picasso. So we're going to have a really clear view of the Picasso, and that's why I was talking about the Marc Chagall sculpture there at the Chase, just like the Calder Flamingo, the red flamingo. They did these big plazas, these big public works projects for these federal and government buildings and bank buildings, and they tried to include a public sculpture and commission famous artists like Pablo Picasso, and that's what this is. We call this the Picasso here in Daily Plaza. And then the Calder with the flamingo, the modernist sculpturist. And then Marc Chagall with the mosaics. Public art. Here's the pigeons. Here's the Channel 2 News digital screen. I was hoping they'd show the forecast again, but we missed it. So here we'll head up, we'll just round it out, the same stuff we always do. We'll go by the City Hall here, the Pablo Picasso sculpture, Daily Plaza, and we'll go by the theater district here, see if there's any change the marquee at the Chicago Theater and the Nederlander. Took place. Oh, the pivotal scene in the lake house took place at that Picasso. Yeah, it's been used in several movies, including the one you're talking about. They used it in the Blues Brothers, and they actually mentioned it. He said, John Belushi's character, he says, "Yeah, they got that Picasso." When they were trying to get the city hall to pay their nuns back taxes on their orphanage there. The whole plot of the movie. Yeah, it's every once in a while we go inside. We got inside the lobby of the 190 South LaSalle building. That's a hard building to get into. I snuck in the side because it's a secure building. All the financial firms that house themselves in there. Here, we'll cross Dearborn. There's the Nederlander. Look at this amazing. This is a rare building that goes back to the 1870s, 1880s here. You see old historical photographs of the Loop, and there used to be a lot of buildings that look like this on State Street. We lost a lot of them to the Great Chicago Fire, but they did rebuild some of them, like that one. And here, we'll cross Dearborn Street, looking south here. There's Dearborn Street looking north, the Goodman Theater. Petterino's restaurant on the corner there. There used to be a sketchy McDonald's there, but it was so sketchy it closed. Look, Mrs. Doubtfire, the musical. It's only going to be here for a few weeks. They're showing Mrs. Doubtfire at the Nederlander Theater here. And here's the 5 Iron Golf. Here's the Dearborn. This is a really good restaurant, the Dearborn. It's right. You can remember that. It's right on the corner of Dearborn and Randolph here. Here's the Nederlander. Look at that beautiful marquee. And Mrs. Doubtfire. What else they got going? There's a Garrett's Popcorn right next to it. We go by that. The Blick. We're right here by Block 37. You guys know where we're at, the Lunch Bunch. We go by this all the time. But I never get tired of filming this beautiful facade there. Look at the detailed entry there and the cuckoo clock looking building of the Blick. Sorry. Well, we'll get back to State Street. We'll go by Macy's, Marshall Fields. We'll go by the Chicago Theater here. But it was so nice seeing Jaye earlier. If you missed it, you can check out the beginning of the live. We caught up. We actually in real life caught up with Jaye. I gave her a hug, and she was over there by the Crown Fountain, Millennium Park. She's probably still walking around right now on TikTok, which is great. We'll cross. What is this? Randolph. And look how nice the Chicago Theater looks there in the sun, gleaming in the sun here on State Street. Here's Marshall Fields, Macy's, now Macy's. State Street looking south. You see the Muddy Waters mural down there. And we'll go past the Gene Siskel Film Center, Chicago Theater. We do this all the time, but it's just an easy thing for me to walk past here, get some nice footage. Different seasons of the year, if they update the marquee or not. It looks like it's the same. Dr. Jordan B. Peterson, We Who Wrestle with God tour. February 12th, sold out. That's tonight. Dr. Jordan B. Peterson at the Chicago Theater there. And then we'll see what's on the other side here. Look at that crazy alley there. There's the Couch Place, Nederland Way, the Plug Walk. Here's Channel 7 News. There's the Chicago Theater, State Street. Yeah, minimalist strip. Jaye just did it. That's good. Oh, good. The City Walking Girl. Yeah, I'm glad. Thanks for getting me updated, and glad you guys follow City Walking Girl. She does a great job as always. And here we'll go under Lake Street here. And what time we got? 12:51. Okay, we're doing okay on time. We'll cross the street here. Cross State Street. Look at the beautiful Chicago Theater looking south on State Street. Goes for miles. So State Street mainly goes all throughout the south side. It goes north to North Avenue and then it stops because it hits the lake. But there's the Chicago Theater. Look how nice that looks. So here we'll head down Lake Street. Hey, Caesar's Tacos parked over there. Sometimes they're parked on this side. Here's the side entrance to the Chicago Theater. Yeah, Blick's a nice building. Yeah, that's a nice location for a Blick, a nice iconic location right there next to Netherlands. Yeah, most of the Blicks are just in malls. See, hopefully now that all the malls are dying, maybe the little shops that survive will go back into the brick and mortar Main Street USA strips that are struggling now too. You know, brick and mortars are hard now, thanks to Jeff Bezos. You see Jeff Bezos is moving to Florida because he could save so much money on his taxes. He's forced to sell some stock, so he has to live to Florida. So, you know, all that money that we're not going to get it as taxpayers. The state of Washington is not going to get it, and even Florida's not going to get it. And it's just gonna collect back in Jeff Bezos's pocketbook. Isn't that great? We can never get to the wealthy people's money. It just piles up there, you know. And I don't care, you know, both the right or the left, neither of them. They need that Wall Street money so bad. We just saw an accident almost happen right there. At least the car stopped instead of just plowing into them, breaking their windshield. Here's I don't know what the name of this building is. Can somebody help me out? Here, let's go up here. We'll cross what is this, Lake Street? Yeah, let's go up here and take a look at the Jewelers building. Look at the beautiful Jewelers building with the dome there. Here's a landmark here. The old Dearborn Bank building, Rap and Rap. So Rap and Rap, I think they did they do the Uptown Theater or the Aragon? I think they did the Uptown Theater. Rap and Rap, they did a lot of theaters like the Chicago Theater. Balaban and Katz used to be the management company of the Uptown Theater, but Rap and Rap was the architects. They did a lot of buildings, and they also did a lot of theaters back in the 20s. So look in the Rap and Rap architects there. There's the L going around, the pink line's going around the bend here. Pink line. Miss Ricky's. Usually they got a lips. They sit out here like a lip couch, but they took it in, I guess, for the winter time. But here, we'll go up around Wabash here. We'll get a view of the Wrigley building and the Tribune.
I know you want me to have a $25
Cobra Concrete Services. CobraConcrete.com. It's like Cobra Kai, but it's Cobra Concrete. There's Hotel Monaco. Look at that clock there, that beautiful clock on the side of the Jewelers building. Let me get the camera straight here. I'm crooked. Always crooked. There's the Marina Towers. Emerging here. We're up to the river. We'll cross 17 Church of Christ Scientist. There we go. Look at that. Look at that beautiful view. Looking down Wacker Drive. Love is the liberator. Look at this great banner they got here on the 17 Church of Christ Scientist. Perfect for Valentine's Day weekend. Love is the liberator. And of course the lobby for the, what is that, the Hampton Inn. Used to be the Chicago Automobile Association, is right here. There's a Hilton Garden Inn. We show this all the time here, but I'll just sneak in here. It'll be an easy thing for me to film to wrap up this loop walk here. Morton Steakhouse, East Wacker Place here, connects with, see the Carbon and Carbide building, the back of it, Michigan Avenue, the Hilton Garden Inn, the Hampton Inn here. If we go inside here, I'll just briefly film the historic entry here of the, see, it's Chicago Motor Club of Chicago. It used to be the Chicago Motor Club, this Art Deco gym. A very narrow building. Look at it. It's a very narrow building. It's the precursor of the American Automobile Association, the Chicago Motor Club. And they have a vintage map on the wall here that they preserved when they made this a Hilton Garden Inn, or no, a Hampton Inn, excuse me. And yeah, look how nice this looks. Look at this beautiful restored vintage lobby. It goes back to the 1920s. You can see the Route 66. They got this restored lobby, and then they got this classic vintage car up here on the balcony, and they got pictures of car train on the old trail, Pike Peak, Evergreen Trail, the Lincoln Highway, all these historic automobile routes back in the 20s. Before we had interstates, they had this map. And you see there's the elevators here where you can get out there. You can go up to beautiful detailing. Look at the detailing on the tall windows there at the top. And they got nice curved staircases and things like that. You can go up the stairs here. Let's see if we can go up the stairs here real quick. Yeah, it's open. See, they got these curved stairs. You kind of look up. Look at that. And you can look straight. Let's see if I can look straight up here. The curved stair was, oops. There it goes up a little bit. It's hard for me to look straight up. We'll get on the balcony here. Am I still streaming okay? Yeah, 3,800 kilobits per second. Look how you can see this lobby from the balcony up here. Yeah, Art Deco. I don't know if there was a cigar bar here. That would make sense if maybe this was a cigar bar before they turned it. It said vacant for decades. When I first moved to Chicago in the late 90s, this was vacant for several decades, and they, you know, kudos to the Hampton Inn for restoring it, using it as a hotel, nice adaptive reuse. But look at the details. Look at the details on the top of the windows there, and even above the doors, and all around here you got the wheels. You got that car that they put up there, this map, and even on the side here. So they did such a great job, and you can just hang out here. So, I got to go back to work. What a bummer, but thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll get you over to Michigan Avenue here. And if you missed it, check out the beginning of this video. We ran into Jaye, City Walking Girl, on her TikTok live stream earlier, which was great. We knew we'd run across each other eventually, and it'll happen again. So let's see here. Yeah, it's a beautiful space. Thanks for checking it out with me. Sometimes we walk down that alley there. Here's the Pendry, the beautiful carbon and carbide building. Look at all the just Art Deco gems just concentrated in this area. All this was built right before the stock market crash, and there was more planned that sadly never got built because the Great Depression happened. And that's why we get the Board of Trade and some of those late vintage Art Deco gems that just barely made it before the whole financial system collapsed. It was kind of ironic, wasn't it? Yeah. And it'll never happen again. The stock market's going to go up forever, right? It just goes up every day. It never goes down. Here's look at the beautiful Wrigley building looking north Michigan Avenue, the John Hancock. We usually start and end our lives here. So I plan to be on TikTok tonight. Hopefully we'll see what time I get out of work. I got a bunch of work to do. So it'll be after 5 sometime, 5:30. We'll see if we get out of work, and we'll reverse this whole process. Take advantage of this bright sunshine and seize the day. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks to Jaye for saying hello earlier. City Walking Girl, and yeah, thanks for being good there. No, it wasn't a curved ceiling. It was a flat ceiling. My lens might have made it look curved. Yeah, you're right. That's a good question. I saw that there, the way I roll. Thanks, Sharon. Thanks, Lisa. Yeah, thanks for being on there, Elena, Michael, Krista Blue Funk. Thanks, everybody. Michael Merck. The way I roll. The Mishi was on early. 7 Juanitas, Brazil. Thanks for tuning in. I didn't see that there. Thanks for saying hello from Brazil. Thanks for watching YouTube. And if I missed anybody else, thanks for tuning in. We'll go back to TikTok tonight. Thanks for following me on both platforms, YouTube and TikTok. Have a great day, everybody. And we'll talk to you later. Thanks a lot.